Welcome everyone, I'm K-Blaze Games and this is episode 15 of our EVE Online Let's Play series. In the last episode we finally finished running all the combat sites we found in our first tour of the Ajah constellation. We came away with 73 million in estimated ISK value in loot that was available for sale instantly, and a blueprint for a succubus faction frigate and 2 blueprints for very advanced implants. Today's plan, we're going to update the skill queue as usual, buy lots of new skill books, and we're going to talk about skill injectors. And we're going to buy some more minerals for the succubus, build it, and then sell it. So, let's get going. Hey, the stuff we need to talk about. If you remember last time, we found these in combat sites. These are extremely high grade, or mid grade, but high level implants. It took a lot of very expensive stuff to make, and I was going to do some work off camera and work out the profit margins, and that's what I've done here. See, they cost, one of them costs 112.6 million to build, but sells for 122.7. That would give us a profit of just over 10 million. And the other one costs 150.6 million to build, but sells for 206.5. It would give us a profit of over 55 million. But we only have 67 million in the bank, so we can't afford to build either of them. So we'll sit on these until we're rich enough to build them, and then we'll sell them at a profit. Of course, the prices for everything might change. The sell price, the buy price, everything. And we got this blueprint for a faction frigate called a succubus. We melted down everything in the junk loot box, but we still fell a little bit short of some minerals. They're just listed here. So I'll buy these from Amarr and get this job running whilst we're doing other things. Get on to the daily housekeeping tasks. Let's claim our prize, which is a destroyer class ship. Let's see. Another coercer. Let's open it. Okay, that's a spare coercer in case we ever need it. Not bad. Still haven't quite got enough for unallocated skill points. On the skill sheet front, overnight, we did energy grid upgrades 3, and that was it. Because we're going to slow down on skills now, we're getting into the long stuff. I've updated our potential skill queue with everything I think we're going to need. It's not necessarily in the order they need to be done. So on the shopping list there's 4 skills to buy, so we'll just buy them. 4.5 million for thermodynamics, yes. Infomerce psychology for the jump clone, which you're going to need, yes. Armor layering, which reduces the amount of mass the armor plates add to the ship. So that means it will slow us down slightly, yes. We're only allowed to have 1 level of this, so we might as well just do it. And jury rigging, which eventually will let us chain rigging skills, which reduce the impact which rigs have. If you remember, rigs add something, but they also decrease something else. So this increases the damage output of the ship's turrets at the expense of increased power grid need. So if we can get that skill, it will reduce the drawback, because at the minute it's adding an extra 10% power need to these. So if we can reduce that, it will free up more power grid, which means we can get slightly different things in the ship. Every bit of power grid and CPU you can save will come in handy later, especially as we get higher skills. And I think we can invest in some training implants, because at the moment we've only got 1, which adds 1 point to perception, so it's only increasing perception by 1 skill point, half a skill point a minute, because alphas only train at half the speed of omega. So if we can get some +3s, that'll increase everything apart from charisma perhaps. That'll increase our training speed by a couple of skill points a minute and just reduce the speed of everything, which is great. So I'll do a quick shopping trip to Amarr. You've bought all these, don't need that. The succubus we can sell for 37 million in Wrens, which is 24 jumps away, or 36 million in Amarr, which is only 4 jumps away. So I'm not making 24 jumps to make an extra million, so we'll sell that in Amarr. So off to Amarr, buy these, come back, put this in the cooker, and when it's done, probably at the end of this episode, I'll go to Amarr again and sell it. Okay, here we are in Amarr. Bought everything. I decided to buy the +3 charisma one. It was only 5 million, so it was worth it. Now, to make room for that, we will have to unplug the one we have. Unplug. Don't care, we got it for free. That's the minerals we need to build the succubus. In we go. Select all, right click, plug in. It's another loss on me unplug. Bing bing bing, there we are, +3 to everything. And that's gone down from 21 hours something to 18 hours something, so it was worth it in the end. Right, let's get all these other skills training. I'll do that on the way back to Pasha. This is a classic scam, you'll see it in all the trade hubs. Pretend to be offering 3 different things, well, 3 of the same thing for only 1 million. You click on them, the ones that are for 1 million are finished. What he did is he made these and then instantly bought them with his alt, so he sold himself these for 1 million, and the one in the middle is for 1 billion. Anyone that falls for that is an idiot. Read contracts before you click accept, every single time. Okay, let's get this cooking. Use blueprint. This should hopefully all be blue now. Yes, right, 1.5 hours. Then another shopping trip. Put the standard M in this. We are eventually going to move home to somewhere in that constellation because I'd like to be nice and close to it, or in it. So I think we'll just be spending a few days just doing constant circuits of that and farming it for money just to get the buffer back up. And we're down to 10 million again. Train out level 1. Yes. Train out level 1. Yes. Train out level 1. I think go. And train out level 1. Right, so that's the 4 skills we bought, injected and training away. We'll just do the own thing. Okay, we've got some time. Got to fill this up. We were going to do industry 3 and 4 to build these blueprints, but that can wait until we've got 200 or 300 million. Medium energy turret. That's that in the queue. That's the queue filled up again for another day. I'm going to head out to Ajah and then we'll look for some agents to do level 1 missions, because I did say I'd show you missions even though I don't like them. They do have their uses. Oh, see you in Ajah. Okay, we're now in the Ajah constellation. So we open agency, go to agents and missions, mission agents. Now there are 5 to pick from. Locator is just a secondary thing that any of the other agents can offer that helps you find characters. Well, the agent will email you where the character was, it doesn't specifically tell you where they are right now, just where that character was when you ask the agent to find them. They can't find people in wormholes or people logged off. R&D don't give you missions as such, they just passively generate R&D points over time, which is used to buy data cores, which if you remember are used in the invention process. You need specific science skills for each agent to use these, and as alphas, we can't have science skills, so we don't do that. But there's only really 3 to pick from. Mining agents tell you to go somewhere and mine special ore that's only ever used in missions and can't be sold or refined. They're not very good, they're not very quick to run, they don't pay very well. Distribution agents are usually take this thing here or go there and bring this thing back here. They're very quick to run, and distribution agents tend to be found in clusters. In fact, quite often you'll find 3 or 4 of them in the same station. This means if you've got any kind of decent hauler, you can run multiple missions at the same time. So why is that a good thing? Because every 16 regular missions of the same level for a corporation belonging to the same faction, you will be emailed a storyline offer, which can also sometimes pay you really good rewards and will also boost your faction standings. And standings is what is used to determine what level of agent you can work for. Security agents are just go here, kill everything, come back. These are good for generating recs, which means salvage and loot. So let's discuss standings here in character sheet, interactions, standings, if I can click on it. Okay. This is all the standings we have right now. I think we'll just go highest to lowest. Okay, Avatar Mandate, it's an offshoot of Amarr Empire like us. And in fact, some of the pirates like us as well, just because of they're friendly with Amarr, so you get a kickback from there. This visual representation tells you what activities you can do and how far along you are to unlocking them. Level 2 agents, level 3 agents, level 4, level 5. 4 and 5 are locked for us because we're alpha. Go down here, if you go below -5, you will be openly attacked in space belonging to that faction. If you go below -2, you can only ever talk to level 1 agents. So at the minute, even for the people that like us most, we can only do level 1 agents until we get faction above 1. But corporations, if we can find an agent for this particular corporation, we can run level 3 agents for them. As you can see, these are the agents that we ran all the missions for. And these are the increases. Every mission you pass boosts your personal standing with them. Personal standing doesn't do very much anymore. It used to increase your pay and loyalty points provided. All it does now is give you a buffer, because if you decline 2 missions within a 4-hour period, you lose some standings. So if you have higher standing, you can decline more before the agent gets really annoyed with you. Due to amazing game design, it is possible to permanently lock yourself out of an agent. If you decline too many missions too quickly, you'll dip below the threshold and you can never recover, and you will never be able to use that agent again. Don't ask me why it works like that, it just does. But the best thing about getting faction, and therefore storylines to boost faction, is that this supersedes corporation. So if we have Amarr Empire 1.0, this means all of them, no, that's the wrong one. Here we are. If we get Amarr Empire to 1.0 standing, then any of these corporations that belong to the Amarr Empire will give us level 2 agents. It means we don't have to go to and work for level 1 agents for each and every corp to unlock level 2. We can just spam distribution missions, farm a couple of storylines, get to 1.0 with faction, and then every single level 2 agent for this entire faction will be available. That's pretty good. I think what we want is that location. Is there any current system? No. Within 5 jumps? Yes. Hash mark on. Okay, let's restrict them to high sec. We don't want to go low sec. Seems to be an awful lot of agents in Tashmarcon Prime. Becca, Bravasti. Alright, looks like Tashmarcon Prime is the place to go. But we can check our standings. Check Royal Amarr Institute. Click on their agents tab, that shows you all the agents they have and where they are. So apparently, oh, we won't be working for them, they're all no sec. And the 2 level 3 we can access are 14 jumps away, but they are both in the same, they're probably in the same station actually. If we wanted to, we could go and work for these 2 in the Sigil. But that's really boring. You do not want to see me spamming distribution. It's not exciting at all for you guys. So we'll head back through this gate and go and speak to a Tashmarcon guy. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the corpse. Touch mark on family, family, family. Expert distribution. Not bad. Let's just dock.
Warp drive active.
Now, if I could be bothered, I'd work out if any of these were on this in the same station. If we got a mission we didn't like, we could just decline one mission for her. And then whilst her 4-hour annoyance cooldown is running, we can go and work for another one. We can do that anyway, because there's 8 to choose from in the system. Not that there's any level 1s worth declining. They're all as bad as each other.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Let's clear the waypoints, don't need that. Okay, here we are. Click. Kill the lead terrorists and recover the stolen letters. Ship restrictions. You may use your Punisher. Now, an issue we have here is that this is asking us to go and kill ships belonging to the Minmatar Republic. Why is that bad? Because this is, as we know, this is a fully fledged faction, and every single ship we blow up will lower our standing with them. And that's pretty bad, because as we know, we have to get to Jita, and to get to Jita at the minute, due to the invasion, we have to go through Minmatar space. And if Minmatar drops below -5, their NPCs will shoot at us in that space. So, as a habit, I decline any mission asking me to kill another faction. I like to be able to fly anywhere I want, so decline. Thank you, but no. So now we're on a 4-hour timer, here it says. Declining a mission from this agent in the next 3 hours and 59 minutes will result in the loss of standing with this agent. Yeah, destroy the rogue drones and report back. And it's in 1 jump away. Ship restrictions, Punisher's fine. Let's see. Regular agents and storylines. No more free ships. No more free implants, except for storylines, and no more free modules. You just get money and loyalty points. The loyalty points store in this mission? In this station? Yes, here we are. You can buy all kinds of implants for some money and some LP. So you can save out your mission pay and loyalty points and buy some implants. Loyalty points contain a lot of things. An awful lot of things. I have links for that. Of course I do. LP database is as it says in the tin, is a database of every single corp and every single thing they offer. And LP profit shows you what profit to make. If you just want to exchange LP, buy an item and then sell it somewhere, it'll tell you the profit. So that's pretty cool. I'll add these in the description. Right, let's go and kill some drones. Strangely, level 1 agents will actually be more fun than the military career agents were, both of them.
Warp drive active.
Well, it's only drones, so we know there's not going to be any loot. And I'm not going to bother to salvage them. No, let's just kill them all for the bounty. And then come back and get agent pay and LP. Most of the income you get from missions will be the bounties. I'm not going to bother running 16 of these just to generate a storyline to show you. We might dip into missions every now and again. Port to location, turn the tank on. If for some reason we run out of things to do in Ajah, we can come back to task mark on and run some level 1s. Could be worth it to open level 2s, because they're more suited to cruisers. Treat them like a training ground for the Mare. Possibly an Omen and Arbitrator, after our skills get high enough to make them worthwhile.
Warp drive active.
Oh, they're a million miles away. Okay. This is it for a level 1. 3 tiny weeny drones and 2 drone frigates. Probably where a long-range tormentor would have come in handy. But we know this little thing can handle much bigger sites. Let's just bounce off this rock, fly right through it, hit them both. One, two, three, 4, 4.5, 5. Right, all dead. Mission over. Back to base.
Active.
Missions are extremely tedious in the year 2020. The grind is real, and it's really real. Although we're at 0.73, which you might think is very close to 1, we're probably about 3 storyline missions away. It's 3 times 16 missions to unlock level 2. And that's if that gets us above 1. There is a very special mission, which I might actually show you. It's known as the Epic Arc. Epic Arc should be listed here. Yeah, here we go. Epic Arc, that's a level 3 one. The level 3 ones are both in low sec. They send you undercover to work for pirates. Level 4 are extremely hard. Right, the level 1 one isn't listed, but there is a level 1 one.
Mission requested.
Around 54 missions. Takes you around all 4 empires. So after we've done a couple of circuits of Ajah and earned some more money, I might go and do that. That'll be a multiple episode thing. It is 54 level 1 missions, so it's not great. But it's good, because at the end you get a huge standing increase with any empire you want. So that definitely will push us over 1. Could even do that in the Mare. And yeah, there's lots of travel, and the Mare's not the quickest. To kill the final couple of bosses in that 54 mission arc, you need about 120 DPS. We're 113. I reckon we could do it. Simulate your fool. If we learn thermodynamics and overheat the guns, see, they go up to 131, but they will generate heat. And they'll burn out long before the boss dies, because I know what he's like. So, how would I deal with that? I would probably just buy some faction ammo. Down here, buy some Imperial Navy multi-frequency. Yeah, 131. That's what I would do, and probably will. Right, back to Pasha. I'm gonna grab the Mare and do another circuit of Ajah. Don't think I need to record everything I'm doing in Ajah. You see it on before in the previous episode. If I find a site we haven't done before, I'll record it and let you in on it. Unless that happens, the next time I'll speak to you is when I'm sitting back home in a big whacking pile of loot. Welcome back everyone, time for an update. I've just got home after doing another tour of Ajah, and during that tour I found 2 sentient drones, plus another 2, which are the guaranteed spawn in the desolate site. I found 1 Sansha commander frigate. I uncovered one 1 out of 10 DED site, which you know because we ran it before, and another 3 out of 10, which I'm just about to go and do in the Mare. I also did one of the desolate sites, also gave us a Mare Sargassum, which is an expedition. Because if you remember from the previous expedition, are very small link sites that may or may not lead you somewhere and then somewhere and somewhere else again. I'm not going to show you how much of loot I got until I've finished everything, so you're just going to have to wait. This is the Mare Sargassum expedition awarded by the Drone Desolate Site combat site. Consists of possibly 4 sites. First one has 1 sentient drone, 2 strain drones, and a rather large reinforcement wave. Strongly suggested that the infestor drones are the first to be killed, as these warp scramble and web. Move away and shoot at leisure. The trigger for the next stage of the expedition is destroying the sentient. As with all expeditions, this is by no means guaranteed, and the expedition could end after this first site. Success, we have the next site. That was the first site in the Mare Sargassum expedition. This is the second site of the Mare Sargassum expedition, triggered by the Drone Desolate Site combat site. And there is a guaranteed sentient. In this second site, there are no webbing and warp jamming drones, so you can kill the sentient, which is the trigger for the next room, and then leave the site after looting. There is, however, quite a lot of DPS on show in this room from all the destroyers. Okay, success. We now have a bookmark for the third site. That was the second site of the Mare Sargassum expedition, triggered by the Drone Desolate Site combat site. This is the third location of the Mare Sargassum drone expedition, rewarded as an expedition from the Drone Desolate Site combat site. This is the third of 4 possible locations. Again, this site has a guaranteed sentient drone, and this site has a chance for 0 to 2 elite drones at web and scram, and it appears we have been fortunate on this occasion as there are none present. The sentient drone is the trigger for the possible 4th room. And once it has been destroyed, this site can be considered completed. Everything else is just optional. Success! We have the bookmark for the 4th and final site. A reinforcement wave is triggered upon destruction of the sentient drone.
Warp drive active.
The site is best done in a cruiser, as the destroyers can lay down quite an amount of fire. That was the 3rd room of the Mare Sargassum drone escalation site, handed as a reward from the Drone Desolate Site combat site. This is the 3 out of 10 rated DED combat site. as the commander is much faster than the destroyers. As you can see, it is fairly simple to draw it out away from them so it can be destroyed in isolation. There we have it. That is the site completion message. The site is now considered complete and you may leave at any time after looting the wreck. This was the 3 out of 10 Sansha's Command Relay Outpost DED rated combat site. Okay everyone, that's me back. Just finished the Mare Sargassum and the 3 out of 10 we got. Mare Sargassum went to 3 of the 4 rooms. We did get the message and the award of the 4th room, but it was in low sec, so I said no thank you. So let's have a look at the loot we've got. I dumped it all in the ores just to keep it separate from everything else. Let's stack it all up. There we are, 112 million ISK. Not too shabby for 3 hours work. Now you haven't seen these before. What are these? If you hand these in at a Sisters of Eve loyalty point store, you can get a blueprint for an Astro frigate, which I shall show you. Astro, here we are. This is a specialised drone and scanning frigate. It needs Galente and Amarr skills, so we could cross-train to an Astro. Huge bonuses to cloak and device CPU requirement. Cloak and devices are locked behind the Omega status, so we can't use them. Static bonus to core and combat pro strength. 10% to relic and data virus strength. A nice little ship. 25 megabit bandwidth, so it can launch 5 light drones. And fittings 2 high, 4 medium, 4 low. Very capable little ship. Well, we'll just be selling these because they're worth 48.3 million each. And as I said, as I was off doing that, the succubus is finished being built, so that's ready for sale as well. That was spiky potato. Look at that. What a strange looking thing. Maybe we could train for it, but I'm not going to because I want the money. So what are we going to do with all this money? You've got 112, 114. Stick it all in here. 226 million. Well, if you remember, we quite like having unallocated skill points. And there are things you can buy in the market which give you unallocated skill points. They are, in the pilot services, skill trading. Come in 3 flavours: a large skill injector, which is worth a lot more than we're going to pay for. Small skill injector, which is 165, and gives you different amounts of unallocated depending on your total skill points. Our total skill points is just over 500,000. So if we use this, we would get 100,000 unallocated skill points, which is huge. It's 165.7. But there is also these, the daily alpha injectors. These are only for alphas. You can only use one of them a day, but they do give you 50,000 unallocated skill points. As we said, the small gives us 100,000 for 165, and this gives us 50,000 for 50 million, so it's by far the most efficient one. Instead of using ISK, you can buy these from the NES store for 20plex, so keep an eye on the prices. 20plex would be 58 million, so it is cheaper to actually buy the skill injector itself. So I'll maybe do a bit of shopping around and buy one of these, and we can inject it in the next episode. But for this episode, that's it. We've made another excellent run. Made a lot more. Well, we haven't made the money. We have got a lot of estimated ISK. But this is from 2 days. of doing one tour a day of one constellation. And again, I never saw another pilot. I saw one yellow wreck in one site. It was obviously the player killing one thing to get his 5,000 points from the killing spree. Other than that, I was completely undisturbed. Ajah seems to be a brilliant place to hunt. I think I'll think of something different to show you, because you don't want to watch me running the same sites every day all the time. So until then, take care and I'll see you soon.